Sundays. All of my cousins and I spend the day on 18th Street. That's where my Nana lives, and my Uncle Frankie, and my Aunt Emanuela, and my cousin Anna, and my cousin Giuseppe, and my cousin Antonio, my cousin Arturo, and my cousin Amelia, and my other cousin Amelia, and, well, everyone in the Fiscal family. Everyone except me. I live on Long Island, but on Sundays, 18th Street, Brooklyn is my home. Uncle Frankie lives next door to Nana. In Brooklyn, the houses are close to each other, so close that sometimes they're connected, and every house has a stoop. Uncle Frankie's stoop is my favorite. It's painted red and white, and there are lots of steps, one for each of my cousins and one for me. There's even a step for Uncle Frankie, but he doesn't sit on it. He sits on an aluminum folding chair. Uncle Frankie says his butt's too old and bony to sit on the stoop. He says when we're as old as he is, we can sit on an aluminum folding chair. The best part about sitting on Uncle Frankie's stoop is listening to his stories. August 14th, 1947 was a beautiful day. The guys from the block and I decided to go to a ball game to see one of our favorite players. The Brooklyn Dodgers were playing the Braves at Ebbets Field. But I gotta tell you, this was no ordinary game. This was a game to go down in history for Carl. I hear Nana, Sophia Viennica. I want to tell Nana, not now. Uncle Frankie is telling us a story. But I know better. When my Nana calls, I run. Bella mia, go up to Angelini's. I need the Romano cheese for my meatballs. Make sure he grate for Nana. I'll be right back, I yell to Uncle Frankie as I run up to 6th Avenue. Good morning, Mr. Angelini. Nana needs... I know, Sophia. I saved a nice piece of Romano for your Nana. Philomena, grate the cheese for Sophia's Nana. Mrs. Angelini hands me a small chunk of cheese. I devour my chunk. I tap the countertop with my fingernails. I tap the wooden floor with my patent leather shoe. How long does it take to grate cheese? Finally, Mrs. Angelini returns. Salvatore, the machine doesn't work. Come look. Oh, Mamma Mia, Mr. Angelini shouts. Oh, Mamma Mia. I want to shout, but I don't. I hear the hum of the grater. Mrs. Angelini hands me the bag of grated Romano cheese. I hand her the money and race out the door, almost forgetting to say thank you. The sweet aromas of basil, garlic, and tomatoes reach me 2 houses before Nana's. Nana makes the best gravy in all of Brooklyn. Grazie, bella mia. Nana leans to kiss my forehead as I drop the bag of cheese on the table and dash to Uncle Frankie's stoop. I plop back down on my step. Antonio, do you have ants in your pants? Asks Uncle Frankie. Giuseppe, stop poking little Amelia. Do you want to hear the rest of the story? Uncle Frankie asks my cousins. Yes, Uncle Frankie. It's the bottom of the 8th. The game is scoreless. Farillo hits. Call Farillo? I ask Uncle Frankie, and then Nana calls me again. Sophia Viennica! No! I want to scream, but I know better. I run next door to Nana's. Bella mia, go down into D'Amico's bakeria. Get 2 loaves of Italiano bread. Fresh Italiano bread. Make sure is a fresh. And we need some cannoli for dessert. Make sure they are fresh. Ask Signor D'Amico for the one he made today, not... I know, Nana, the ones he made today, not yesterday. I'll be right back, I yell to Uncle Frankie as I run down to 5th Avenue. Un minuto, Sophia, Mr. D'Amico says as he takes a steaming tray of Italian bread out of the oven. He stuffs 2 long loaves in a white paper bag. I hug the warm bag, being careful not to squeeze too hard. And Nana wants... I know, Sophia, cannoli. But look here, there's no more left, says Mr. D'Amico. Oh, but Nana has to have her cannoli. Mr. D'Amico winks. I'm only joking. I saved her some in the back. Grazie, Mr. D'Amico. When he hands me the cannoli, I ask softly, Are they? Yes, Sophia. Tell your Nana I made them today. Not yesterday, today. Grazie, I shout as I run out the door. The aroma oozing from the warm white bag teases me as I race up 18th Street. I can't resist. I tear off a small piece, and then another, and another. By the time I reach Nana's house, only 1½ loaves are left. Nana doesn't mind. Every Sunday she takes the warm bag of half-eaten bread from me and smiles. O sole mio, sta in front day. Nana is singing about her son again. Before I open the screen door, my nose tells me Nana's frying her meatballs. Nana bakes the best meatballs in all of Brooklyn. Nana wipes her hands on her apron and sits down. She pats the chair next to her. Sophia, sit here, next to you, Nana. But I want to hear Uncle Frankie's story, Nana. Oh, you zio, Francesco, he has so many stories to tell. But I try to tell her that this story is special when she gives me the eye. So I sit down. Sophia, you know I have many grandchildren. Amelia, Anna, Arturo. I know, Nana. But I have only one Sophia. She grabs my face and squeezes my cheeks between her hands. Do you know I am a Sophia too? And when I was a you age, I was a skinny like a you. And my Nana feed me meatballs, ravioli, braciole, Italiano bread, and then I grow big and stronger, like a you cousins. Nana puts a bowl of meatballs in front of me. I stuff one meatball in my mouth and stand up. All right, Sophia, you go and hear you Zio's story, but take some meatballs with you. Nana places 3 more just fried meatballs in a paper napkin. I can't believe you were at that game. And did you really talk to Carl Ferrillo? The arm? Asks Big Amelia. Yes. And I have a keepsake from the day that Carl Ferrillo called the happiest day of his life. Uncle Frankie closes his eyes. He takes his handkerchief out of his pocket. What? You met Carl Ferrillo? Why was it the happiest day? Venetica, Sophia, Anna, Giuseppe, Antonio, Big Amelia, Little Amelia, Arturo, Francesco. Time to mangiare, Nana shouts. Everyone runs to Nana's, everyone but me. I sit on my step on Uncle Frankie's stoop. Sophia, don't you want to eat? Uncle Frankie asks. I'm not hungry. What's wrong, Bella? Everyone else heard your whole story, and I only heard bits and pieces of it. Now I sit on the stoop to listen to your story, and it's over. And we have to go in to eat. And I'm not even hungry. Nana, Uncle Frankie yells, save a dish of ravioli and meatballs for Sophia and me. We'll be in soon. All right, and I save a special braciole and a nice sweet salsiccia for my Sophia, Nana yells back. Uncle Frankie sits next to me on my step. I'll never forget that day. It was August 14th, 1947. My buddies from the block and I decided to go to a ball game to see one of our favorite players, Carl Ferrillo. The Brooklyn Dodgers were playing the Braves at Ebbets Field. Oh, Sophia, this was no ordinary game. This was a game to go down in history for Carl Ferrillo. But we didn't know that then. Before the game, a group of fans presented Ferrillo with a brand new Buick. Right there on the field. Can you believe that, Sophia? Oh, and we had terrific seats. Boy, were they terrific. We could see every move Ferrillo made in center field. He played the entire game and didn't make a single error. Boy, could that guy throw a ball. That's how he earned the nickname, the Arm. And he could hit, too. Picture this, Sophia. It's the bottom of the 8th. It's still 0-0. Stanky is on second base. Ferrillo is up at bat. Whack! He hits a line drive deep into center field. Ferrillo gets a base hit, and Stanky scores. Dodgers 1, Braves nothing. Uncle Frankie sounds like a radio announcer. Then, top of the 9th, Braves have 1 out. Ferrillo catches the fly ball in center field. That's 2 outs. 1 more out. Game's over. Brooklyn Dodgers win 1-0. Ferrillo drove in the only run that day with a base hit. He got the game-winning RBI. Carl Furillo called that day the happiest day of his life, and the guys and I were there to see it all. After the game, my buddies and I hung around the locker room exit. You know, just hanging around and talking about the game. And then, who comes out? Carl Furillo. I couldn't believe my eyes. We ran up to tell him what a great game he played, and we each shook his hand. "Wait, excuse me, Mr. Furillo," I called as he started to walk away. I pulled a newspaper from my jacket pocket and asked him to sign his name. "It would be my pleasure, son," Mr. Furillo said. "Did he really say that to you, Uncle Frankie?" Uncle Frankie puts his hand up. He slowly rises, opens the screen door, and walks into his house. He returns carrying a neatly folded, yellowed piece of paper. He carefully unfolds the fragile newspaper he's saved since 1947. Written right across the front page of the sports section are the words, "To Frankie, a great Dodgers fan, Carl Furillo." Uncle Frankie hands me the yellowed page. "I want you to have this, Sophia. You are a good listener, and a good listener becomes a good storyteller. Someday, Sophia, you will tell this story on my stoop. Or maybe, someday, on your own stoop." I clutch my signed paper against my chest. My bony butt is starting to hurt. And I don't even care, because someday, when my butt hurts too much for the stoop, I'll have my very own aluminum folding chair. When I was growing up, Sundays on 18th Street were about Nana's meatballs, gravy, lasagna, braciole, sausage, chicken parmesan, and Italian bread. After the main meal, we ate salad, and finally dessert. Biscotti, cannoli, zeppoli, fruit, and an assortment of nuts. However, Sundays were not just about food. They were joyful, fun-filled days spent with family. My sister, my cousins, and I played potsy, caps, and stickball. We sat on stoops and listened to our parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles tell stories about when they were young. Uncle Frankie's stories about watching Carl Furillo play at Ebbets Field were always our favorites. Oh, how we loved those Sundays together. Nowadays, I don't spend weekends in Brooklyn, but I carry on the tradition of spending time with my children, grandson, nieces, and nephews. My husband and I live next door to my sister and brother-in-law. But unlike 18th Street, our houses are not connected. And I don't have a stoop, but I do have my mother's aluminum folding chair. That's where I sit when I tell my grandson stories about my Brooklyn Sundays. Ask your family members to share their stories with you. Listen closely and write them down. Someday, I hope you will tell your treasured story to someone special as you sit on your very own aluminum folding chair. Maybe I will read one of your stories in a book.